What's going on, my soul family? Welcome back to another episode of the Awake with Jake show. On today's episode, I'm going to be dropping in and sharing with you the hidden truth behind what men want from a feminine woman. Now, I think when a lot of people hear this, they may think men just want sex. Men are dogs. Men are sleazeballs. And men have gotten a really bad rep over the years because they've been so focused on sex and the physical interaction with women. But in this episode, I'm going to be exposing some things that may give you a different perspective on men. So whether you're in a relationship or you're single, you're going to have a better understanding of what men truly desire from a feminine woman. Now, before I get into today's episode, I want to share something awesome with you. I am doing a $50 discount for my Masculine and Feminine Energies course. This course has over 8 hours of transformational content through video training modules, guided meditations, and embodiment worksheets. I have truly poured my heart and soul into creating this course. We've had over 1,000 students go through this course and get life-changing results with balancing their inner masculine and feminine energies. This sale I'm only offering right now to my podcast listeners, and there's only a limited amount of these coupons available. So go to jakewoodard.com/course and use code Valentine at checkout. And yes, this coupon is for Valentine's Day because I feel like masculine and feminine energies has so much to do with Valentine's Day and romantic relationships and the relationship with yourself and healing and all that stuff. So once again, use code Valentine at checkout by going to jakewoodard.com/course. Promise you, you're going to love this course. So let's get right into today's episode. What are men looking for in a feminine woman? What are they looking for? What's the first thing that you think? I'm really curious to know. What is the first thing that you think when you hear man looking for in a feminine woman? I think a lot of people would just think, oh, they just want sex. They just want sex. And although they may desire sex from a feminine woman, but that stuff kind of burns out after a while. And if a man is truly awakening or awake and he's conscious and aware, then he desires so much more than just sex. Sex is a very small part of the entire relationship with a woman for him. Because the truth here is, a woman, a feminine woman especially, to a masculine man in this container, the examples I'm giving, is like an oracle of wisdom for a man. Her intuition and her ability to feel and see things at a deeper level, her psychic capabilities and everything, is very helpful to a man, especially with his awakening. Now, his ability to lead and be strong and protect as a masculine person is very helpful for her feminine energy because it brings the structure into the relationship while she brings the flow, the feelings, the emotions, the intuition into the relationship. So imagine it like creating a waterfall. The flowing of the water is the feminine essence, where the container that holds the waterfall, the rocks that hold the waterfall, is the masculine structure. So the first thing, I'm going to give you 6 of these, by the way, and I'm going to break down each 6 of them. The first thing that he truly desires, and I'm talking from a conscious masculine standpoint. This is not what all men desire. I can't speak for all men. I can speak for myself and my experience and some of the conscious men that I've spoken with and had done work with. He wants to feel that she supports his mission. He wants to feel that she supports his mission. Now, if he doesn't have a mission, then she doesn't have anything to support, and that can be very difficult. So for the masculine men listening right now, I have 3 questions that I want to ask you. Why are you here? Who are you? And what do you stand for? Why are you here? Who are you? And what do you stand for? Now, if you don't know the answers to those questions, that's totally okay because I didn't know it for a very long time. And it takes you a while to really peel back the veils of your ego of who you're not. Because we get brought into this 3D matrix and we get conditioned to be a certain way and we cling to this ego identity and we lose ourselves. We don't know the sole purpose for why we incarnated into this form. Why did your soul take on a human form? What work are you here to do? And this is for all people right now listening. But a masculine man really desires to have a true mission in this life. And that mission for a conscious person has a lot to do with being of service and being helpful in giving his gifts to the world. And it goes way beyond just making money or having sex or having fame. Because all of that stuff is external. It's just external. It's fleeting. It's the itch that can't be scratched. It's the belly that can't be fed. So I really want you to sit with that. Now, if you know your man has a mission, one of the most beautiful gifts that a feminine woman can give to a man is to truly support his mission any way you can. Just being that loving feminine essence that you are is so nourishing to him. When you see him getting all heady and in his masculine from being at work all day or building his business or whatever he's working on in that moment, don't judge him. Don't criticize him. Just be there and be a safe, loving space. Because the more you do that, the more you are safe with him, the more he will open to you. A lot of men tend to be very guarded and locked in their minds. The masculine energy is in the mind where the feminine lives in the heart, and we all have both of these energies. So support him, support his mission deeply. And the more you do that, you will draw more consciousness out of him. And that really is what creates this polarizing energy and this electrical connection between the two of you. The masculine and the feminine dynamic are polarizing and harmonizing when there is this conscious flow of love from both people. The second thing is he doesn't want to battle her masculine energy. Now, this one may be very hard to transcend if you're already doing this right now, but let me just give you an example of this. Say you both work a very stressful job, or maybe you're both building your businesses, whatever you're doing, and you're really in this masculine grid all day long, both of you. And you come home and you're both in your masculine, you start clashing energetically because your masculine energies are repelling each other. Because remember, what polarizes is opposing energies, not the same energy. Same energies repel, opposing energies attract. That's sexual polarity. But when you're both in your masculine, or you're both in your feminine, but in this case, both in your masculine, he doesn't want to battle with you in the sense of who's the masculine here, who's the leader here. Because two things happen. The polarity starts to die, or he will start to feel emasculated within himself. He will start to feel emasculated within himself when you keep challenging him with your own masculine energy. There's a different way to challenge a man. There's a more conscious way to challenge a man, and the way in which you do it is with love. If you challenge him like another masculine man, he will close down and start treating you like a masculine man. So he doesn't want to battle with your masculine energy. He doesn't want to battle with that. He doesn't want to battle for who's the leader, who's the power, all this stuff, okay? Because when that happens, you create this clashing of energies. And that's not to say that you're not going to be in your power, because as a feminine woman, you have the ability to create worlds, right? You have so much power within yourself. Your power lies within your intuition and your ability to navigate through your emotions and to feel deeply into things and to bring love into the space. Where his power really lies in his ability to make decisions, to lead, to support, to protect. The masculine has a mission, wants to have a mission, to bring more truth and consciousness into this earth. So when he feels supported by that, and he doesn't feel like he's constantly competing with his partner, masculine, then he starts to drop more into that sacred masculine energy. Because when you're competing with each other, it's almost like a wounded masculine energy. Why are you competing with each other? What is the purpose of competing with your partner? It's very macho, who's the alpha here kind of thing. And I can tell you right now, that type of energy, that dynamic in a relationship is freaking exhausting. So if you're a feminine woman listening to this right now, be very aware of your inner feminine and how that's manifesting in your relationship. Number 3, he needs to be able to trust you. Trust is so big for the masculine person, and trust is big for everyone in a relationship. The feminine wants to be able to trust the masculine as well. But in this container, he really wants to be able to trust you. And if you're inconsistent with the way you're showing up in the relationship, he may start to close down emotionally. And a lot of men are not even really tuned fully into their emotions. So they're already just waiting for an excuse just to close down emotionally. So tuning into your own energy, your own heart space, checking in with yourself, dropping into your feminine. When he starts to see your flowers start to open consistently, showing up to the best of your abilities, then he will want to trust that. He trusts what he thinks is truth. Let me say this again. The masculine will trust what he thinks is truth. If he doesn't find it to be truth, he's not going to trust it. And when I'm speaking of masculine right now, I'm speaking from a conscious masculine standpoint, because the wounded masculine doesn't care about this stuff. The wounded masculine is just going through life, forcing his way through life, banging whatever, banging, his head on things. And that's just the way it is. And I was that wounded masculine for a very long time. So I can speak from living there and then living in more of a conscious, aware energy. And it's much more delightful, we could use the word, to be in a space of awareness, in a space of transcending your pain. So trust, consistently show up. He wants a woman that he can truly trust, that, at the end of the day, she's not going behind his back and doing, very like mischievous stuff, we could call, or stuff that doesn't align with her inner truth. Seeking external validation, we could say, is like a wounded feminine energy. He doesn't want to deal with the drama in a relationship. He wants to have a woman that has the ability to support his mission, to bring her gentle flowing yin energy to him when he needs it, because believe me, his hot yang masculine energy is burning very hot most of the time. So your gentle, cooling, nourishing energy, that feminine essence that you are, not your hot yang masculine energy, that is very cooling to his inner flame, and that soothes his inner masculine. It is nourishment for his masculine core. Your feminine essence really is. So you build trust through consistency. You build trust through consistently showing up as the divine feminine being that you are. Now, that really takes a lot here, because that takes you honoring your inner truth, honoring your natural core energy, being the true feminine embodiment that you are, and showing up that as in the relationship. Now, that would also take you working through any trauma that you've got lodged in your body. Sexual trauma, abandonment trauma, any of these old wounds that are manifesting in the relationship will continue to show up until you heal them, until you transcend them. So really go into yourself right now and ask yourself in this moment, what am I still holding on to that's blocking me from showing up fully in the relationship, or in a relationship, allowing myself to be the embodiment of love, because the feminine is truly the embodiment of love. So the next thing that he wants, he wants to lead the relationship when necessary. He wants to be the leader in the relationship when necessary. This isn't to say that he's always going to be leading the relationship and the feminine woman is helpless and she can't lead at all, because she absolutely has the ability to lead herself. She just leads in a different way. It's like the difference between the sun and the moon, okay? She has the ability to lead, but the masculine desires to lead, and the feminine desires to be led and to be able to surrender in the container of the relationship. Now, as he harmonizes with his own inner feminine and inner masculine, he becomes a better leader, a more conscious leader, because he's integrating his mind with his heart. But if his mind and his heart are disconnected and he's living in his mind, then he will not be a true conscious leader with love and integrity in his heart. And I don't feel that a feminine woman should surrender to a man who is not truly leading with love and integrity. Because when you do this, you're operating from a place that is not your truth. You're operating from your own wounds of fearing he might leave you, or rejecting you, or not loving you more. So that's when you really got to step in and use your intuition and ask yourself, can I trust him to lead me? And if you can't trust him to lead me, why can't you trust him to lead? And that's really where it comes down to, because you'll close down to him in the relationship, you'll close down to him sexually, and there'll be a lot of different things happening. But when you start to harmonize your yin and yang energies in the relationship, there's so much flow and openness in the relationship. And he wants to take on the leading role. So for the masculine people listening right now, start practicing making clear decisions, not fear-based decisions, and leading with love and integrity in your relationship, if you're in a relationship right now. When you do that and you show up consistently as a conscious leader, she will start to open more and more and more, and letting down her own guard, her own desire to lead. And When you have that, this beautiful opening happens in the relationship. It's truly magical. And it's this cosmic attraction that really occurs. The next thing, he is turned off by clingy behavior and poor attitude. Now, if you remember, I had mentioned he doesn't want to deal with the drama. Masculine people don't want to deal with the drama in a relationship. If you have an issue, the way in which you come to a masculine person and speak to a masculine person is you speak directly to them with love in your heart. If you speak directly to them like a masculine person, they're going to feel challenged by that. But if you speak directly to them like a feminine being with love in your heart, they will be polarized by that. Okay, you see the difference? There's a way in which delivering the message very directly like a masculine person would, and there's a way in delivering a message very lovingly like a feminine person would. So once again, as you blend these energies within yourself and you integrate these energies within yourself, you will start delivering messages more consciously, because that's really what the center point here, the center focus is consciousness between both of these energies manifesting as one energy. They're not separate from each other. So negativity, drama, shaming yourself, being very emotionally imbalanced, which is all like, let's say, the wounded feminine essence. When he starts to see that in this clingy type behavior, like, I need you to save me kind of thing, he's super turned off by that and super repelled by that. But he loves feeling like you support him. He loves feeling like you appreciate what he does. He loves feeling like, in a sense, you are there with him together, helping each other to awaken. And as you do this, and as you see each other more deeply, you start to let go of all of the old wounds and the poor attitude and the negativity and the clingy type behaviors. He doesn't want to have someone clinging to him and pulling him down as he's trying to move further into his mission. He wants a woman to walk by his side as a divine feminine being, to bring the oracle of wisdom and intuition to him when he needs it. And that really brings so much balance and healing to a masculine person, to have this oracle of wisdom from the feminine, because the feminine has so much power in that. And the sixth thing that he wants is for a feminine woman to help him balance his inner masculine and feminine energies. Now, when a feminine woman comes into a man's life who is open, of course, he has to be open to these concepts. When he is open, she can bring a new awareness to his inner world, to the feelings, to the emotions, to his intuition, and really help him explore those areas deeper. Not by telling him what to do, not by showing him what to do, not by coaching him what to do, but by being your magnetic feminine energy. You will help draw out his true conscious masculine energy. And you also help him to harmonize with his inner feminine by being the external form, the external reflection of his feminine energy. A lot of men can't connect with a woman at a deeper level because they haven't connected to their inner feminine at a deeper level. They're too focused on the outer, the external, which is the masculine, and the mind. They haven't connected with their heart, their feelings, their intuition, their emotions, which is the feminine. So as he integrates these energies within himself, the woman that manifests in his life will be more conscious, more awake, and vice versa. As she harmonizes her inner masculine and feminine energies, the man that manifests in her life will be more conscious, because she's not coming from a place of being wounded or desperate or lonely. She's manifesting from a place of abundance and love. I hope that this episode brought you a ton of value. Once again, use that code Valentine at checkout by going to jakewoodard.com/course, and you'll save $50 on this today. There are only a limited number of those coupons available, so make sure you take advantage of that. As always, I love you and I appreciate you. Stay open, stay loving, and stay connected to that beautiful source within.